All right, how we doing? Good. So, we are going to be starting this half portrait project. And when you start the half portrait project, you are going to need three things. You're going to need your picture that is printed out. You're going to need a pencil, pretty obvious. You're going to need a ruler. And then you're also going to need this 9x12 piece of paper that is over on the supply table in the art room. Okay, so you need those four things. Now, when you start this, you are going to take the picture on the iPad, and you're also going to make sure that you basically want to make sure that the picture is on the iPad. That way, what I can do is I can take those pictures and I can put them in albums so that when I link that to the week at a glance, which will be in Tuesday, so if you need to go find it, it's in Tuesday. What you'll do is you'll click on this period, you will go find your picture, you will take it into the photo editing, so you can click edit. You may need to save it as your own picture, just like you did with your last project. But once you edit it, you can make it black and white. You can change the contrast. There should be a video linked in the week at a glance that explains how to do that even further. But that is basically the process. Now, once you get that into the album, what I will do, and this will take a little bit of time, but I will go through and I will print every portrait. Okay, so I will print all of your portraits so that they look like this. And what we are going to do next is we're going to start the half portrait project. Now, when we do this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have our portrait. I'm going to move that out of the way a little bit. And we are going to measure this so that we find the center of our face. Now, here's the easiest way to do this. As long as you took the picture straight on, and this is why it's so important to take the picture straight on, what you're going to do is you're going to use one of these rulers that has the millimeters. Okay? So you're going to use the millimeters. I wouldn't use the inches because you're going to get into some fractions and things like that. But you're going to use the millimeters. And I want you to measure from the tear duct of your eye to the tear duct of your other eye. So in my case, it's 32. If you divide 32 in half, you're going to get 16. So I'm going to put a mark right on this picture at 16. If yours is 40, then you're going to put a mark at 20. If it's 20, you're going to put a mark at 10. If it's 34, you're going to put a mark at 17. Okay, so you're just taking this measurement, which is 32 for me, divide 32 in half, and you get 16. You put a mark. Then I'm going to go down to my nose. I'm going to measure my nose. My nose is 45 millimeters wide in this picture. So 45 divided by 2 is 22 and a half. So 22.5. Take my ruler, don't move it, find 20, count 1, 2 and a half, put a mark. Now I have a mark on my nose and a mark between my eyes. I take my ruler, I line it up. If you want to do this in pen, that's totally fine, but just make sure that you draw a nice line. Draw my line. Now my face is divided in half. What I'm going to do from there is I'm going to take this half of my paper, and if I push down nice and hard with that line, it's a little trick, but it's going to be easier to fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically pinch right in between my eyes. I'm going to come over here and pinch right where I put that mark in between my nose. I'm going to crease it, and then you got your half portrait. Okay? If you want to use this half, you can, but it's going to be a little harder because your hand's covering it up. So if you're right-handed, I would probably use the left side of your face. If you're left-handed, I would probably use the other side. Okay, but now here's how this is going to work. You are going to take your paper and you're going to measure the top of your paper. Or sorry, the side of your paper. It's 9 inches. 9 divided by 2. 4.5. Go to the top. 9 divided by 2, 4.5. Take your ruler, hold it steady. Again, I don't care how dark this line is, doesn't matter. But I'm going to divide my paper in half. From here, I bring this over. I make sure the edge of my paper is right on that. I'm going to put 2 pieces of tape down, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then I'm going to draw the other half of my face. Okay? Now, there are a few different ways of thinking about this. The first way is that you can basically do a mirror image, or on your Chromebook, if you want to pull up your original picture, once you have this taped down, you pull up your original picture, you can basically try to do some of the tricks over here. Like, for example, I have my hair going in one direction, which is going this way. So if my hair is going this way, I don't want it to go that way in this picture. I want it to look like this side of my head, okay, because I have like a slight comb over type thing. So what you want to do is you want to keep in mind that there's some things that are going to be slightly different, but for the most part, my eyes are pretty similar, my ears are pretty similar, my nose is pretty similar, even my mouth and my beard and so on. So for the hair, if you want to flip this over and take a peek at what that looks like, you can do that. But for the most part, we are going to be keeping this still, and we're going to draw the other half of our face. A couple little tricks. One thing I like to do, just like you did in your template, I like to sketch out where things are going to belong in this picture, just very lightly, like my hairline. Okay? The other thing you can do is if you're kind of a technical person, okay, I'll do my chin too. But if you are more of a technical person or a math person, another thing that I like to do is I like to take these rulers and I'm going to measure how far it is from the corner of my eye to the middle of the paper. Okay, which we talked about already was 16 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 16 millimeters and I'm going to put a mark. And this mark shows me right where that spacing should be. Okay, because whatever it is on this side of the picture, it should be the same thing on this side. For example, my eyeball, now let's just go from the far dark corner to the tear duct. That's 36 inches, so if it's 36 inches, I know where it starts. Sorry, 36 millimeters. I know where it starts. So that is how wide my eye is going to be on this side. Come down to my nose. I'm going to measure from the side of the nose to my center, which is 22 millimeters. So if I just slide this over, put a mark at 22 millimeters, this is how wide my nose should be. Okay, so what I can do then is I can start sketching this out, and you'll see pretty quickly. And I think what's going to happen for a lot of you is you're going to start getting pretty good at drawing the mirror image, which is a good skill to have. Okay, and you're basically going to do this for the entire project. So you're going to go, you can go to the corner of your mouth, which is 24. Come over here, put a mark at 24, and you can start sketching out how this should look. Okay, so you're going to do that for the entire thing. Like I said, with the hair, if you want to cheat a little bit with the hair, you can take a peek over here and get an idea of what this should look like. But for the most part, you're going to keep this taped down, and you are going to draw the second half of your face. Okay? But like I said, the measurement trick is really handy because the side of my face is 64. Slide it over, put a mark at 64. That way I know where the edge of my face is. Okay? So I can sketch this all out. I know my ear starts right here. Again, if you wanted to get technical, how wide is the ear? It's about 10. Come over here, make the ear 10 millimeters wide. Okay, and you can get it all symmetrical and how it's supposed to be. Okay, so I hope this helps. We are going to be working on this throughout the entire week of September 24th, or 26th, sorry, 26th to 30th. And this is going to be worth 15 product points. So it's going to be a product grade that's kind of sprinkled in there. But once we're done with this project, we are going to jump into the next project, which will be a bigger portrait, a little bit more challenging. We'll spend more time on it, and that'll be a bigger product grade. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. Like I said, don't panic about the portraits. Again, this isn't a fashion contest. It's just to get an idea of how to draw an actual portrait using the correct proportions and the correct template.